here. We're gonna start with this moon. We're gonna do a little mountain here, some foothills with some trees, a little lake back here that's kind of like a glowy blue. This shit. This is gonna be a glowy blue sort of sky too, because it's a moonlit sky. So first, I'm getting ahead of myself here. What the hell am I gonna do? Okay, let's take this brush that I used. I just used some boiled linseed oil on this canvas here. The boiled linseed oil, like I said, is going to thin out your paint. Let it go a little more. We're going to take. I haven't done this for like a month. You can't be afraid of the paint, people. You can't be afraid of it. All right, so we're going to take a little bit of this. We're going to take just a smidgen. We're just going to take a smidgen of Prussian of phthalo blue. This stuff is super strong. You see that? That shit will eat up your night sky if you don't exercise caution. So this is an opaque paint as well. So opaque means you can see through the shit. So, all right, let's, I haven't done this for like a month. I'm freaking like, I'm psyching myself out here. This thing is shaking. I gotta get a little bit more stable. I'm gonna get a little bit more white in there. Why? We're gonna start with little brush strokes. You know, this. I don't know if this brush is too big for this or not, but you start in the center and you kind of work out. And when you go back in for another dip, you always, you know, I feel like this is working out, but it's just tough right now. I don't think I got enough paint in my brush here. How's that look on the? So, all right. You can't be afraid of the paint. You just gotta let it just go on the canvas where the hell it goes, you know. And like all these little crisscross brush strokes, you know, they'll all blend together eventually. I get a little bit more, just a little bit more of that blue in there. I don't know. You know, some of the problem here with these frickin' canvases, and I'm not complaining here, but it certainly sounds like it, is that oh yeah, so there's no black over here, it's just boiled. That's why it's going a little bit different than what I thought it was. I faked myself out with this boiled linseed oil. It looks black, and the acrylic underneath is completely done. I've had this canvas prepared like this for a long time, so I plan to do this painting a while ago. After my last huge one that I did, which is over in the, you can kind of see the edge of it. Yeah, I just haven't gotten to this yet. So at this point, I kind of have this sort of nice. It's hard to see because the glare off of this stuff. So kind of, I have this like sort of nice night sky that's developing here, and I'm gonna do a little bit of blending here with my brush. I'm just gonna work this a little bit more here. I feel like it's not spread out enough over here. So I'm gonna take a clean brush, if I have one. I'm gonna take a clean brush, and I've used this before with some blue at some point. One thing you always gotta kind of wonder about, or not wonder, but just like, is if you're taking a previously used brush, it's got to be like super clean. Otherwise, like, you're gonna drag the paint, the dried paint even, onto your clean canvas. I have fucking hair on it. Huh. Well, that's annoying. Sometimes you get these hairs, and like, you just take the edge of your brush and you just jack it up out of there. You don't want to do that too much, otherwise you're gonna screw up your whole painting. Like, really, you gotta like really beat the devil out of these to get like the dust and all this shit. And who knows, this might just fuck up the painting. Hopefully not. No. So what this is doing is creating a bunch of it's basically just kind of like evening all this out and kind of giving you a nicer gradient to work off of than what you previously had. Yeah, that's real freaking nice now. I'm slightly impressed with myself on this one. Because yeah, it just takes the brush strokes out of it when you do that sort of effect. And let me just release this phone from there. So if you look at it from this perspective, you can see like it's sort of this glowing where the moon's gonna be. There's this glowing that's happening, and yeah, that's where your frickin' moon goes. So, all right, put you back on this fucking thing over here. All right. I really hate that. That light is so harsh. It's called a raking light. Damn. Let's just turn that shit off. All right, let's see how that looks. Yeah, I mean, this is looking better. This arm that I have here just completely freaking sucks. Oh yes, okay. So this is nice. That's how it looks. That's like a glowing moon right here. All right, so I'm gonna take just a little bit of phthalo blue that I have right here. I'm gonna take a little titanium white. I'm just gonna kind of mix this. I don't know, maybe I have a good mix right here. I'm just gonna drag some of this down here. And just get sort of like a cornflower blue, you know, if you can imagine such a damn thing. And you're not gonna paint the perfect freaking moon. I mean, maybe you can paint the perfect freaking moon. I mean, I'm not trying to tell you not to, but all I'm trying to say is, if you're trying to attain perfection while you're painting something that, like, it's coming from your mind. So it's like you can clearly see it in your mind, you know, a memory or maybe another painting you saw at one point in your life. But it's like, do you actually remember the moon being perfect, or do you just have this idea in your mind of a perfect circle? And so your mind is filling in the unevenness of this previous painting that you saw that you thought was a perfect moon with this idea that you have in your mind of a perfect circle. I think it's the latter. But there are some assholes that can actually paint a perfect moon. That's pretty decent. So yeah, like I said, this is just a test painting. You know, so I'm not putting not stressing out about this shit, right? So here's where this shit can get kind of technical. And you would think like painting a mountain is like, oh, you know, you're just painting a fucking mountain, right? You know, what's so stressful about painting a freaking mountain? Burnt sienna. You need some of that. It's not stressful at all. What it is like you this burnt sienna that I got is just it honestly comes out of the tube like horse shit. Like I can't even like this. I can't even use this shit because it comes out in clumps. Like I don't understand why it's coming out in clumps. Okay, whatever. Anyway, I have like 15 other paints up here. I mean, okay, so I need some black, I need some burnt sienna, and I need some, oh God, what else do I need? A little purple. Let's do a little purple in there. Oh, wow, that's separated like a son of a bitch. Okay. Yeah, purple, you always want to mix that up a little bit in the tube. I don't know why this stuff just, maybe it's this Master's Touch brand. It just, you need to work it a little bit before you use it. You don't need a whole lot of it, so I don't really care right now. But yeah, it shit out all that oil, which, whatever. What? This is like a violent Bob Ross tutorial. All right, so we're going to take these three colors, the burnt sienna, the Prussian blue, and purple. We're going to mix kind of a just something that's like, how would you say? Just a night mountain color. Yeah, there we go. So you get this like, it's like almost a rusty blue. That's the best way I can describe it, rusty blue. And you don't want to get too much purple because then it looks like one of those like psychedelic day glow fucking paintings. One thing that Bob Ross does, and it blows my fucking mind why he does this. Well, I do know why. So, where's my fucking... So there's like 3 or 4 steps to doing this mountain, okay? I love getting fucking blue paint all over my fingers. It stays there for like a week. I'm gonna take a little lamp black. I throw it on this. Oh God, my paints are shit right now. I haven't painted for like a month. I'm working on the new release. Got tired of coding for the night. So I'm here doing it. So we're gonna take a little of this black We're gonna lay it out on the board here. Get like a roll of it started here, and you're gonna put your fucking mountain in there. God, this is always stressful. So it's like you can just do this. Just you hold it at a certain angle and you just pull it across. Grab a little more fucking thing. So one thing I have a problem with, I think a lot of people that are new to painting, is that when they're doing landscape mountains in particular, they always go, they always make their mountains look like freaking pyramids. And I am trying very difficult right now to get away from the all-seeing eye pyramids that I had created in my past paintings. So those are pretty freaking decent. Yeah, pretty decent. Okay, we're fucking done. I'm kidding. So, we're gonna scrape this shit. We scrape all this black off of here. Okay, scrape it down, scrape it down. And what we're doing is we're pulling paint off the freaking canvas so it doesn't smear with this next step, which, honest to God, has like made me so crazy. It's like the first mountain I did, I felt like I was like icing a goddamn cake. Just absolutely freaking horrendous. And that also, so this also gives us like the shadows, the deep shadows. That's why we do this layer first. Okay, so you got this shit on your thing here. Just wipe that off. All right, so now we have this blue rusty color. Okay, we're just gonna call it this. And you know what? What's funny about this blue rusty color and this jacked up shitty burnt sienna that I have that has like globules in it. I don't know if you can see that, but it's like those. It should just be slick, like the black. Like this one has globules from that burnt sienna. Absolutely horrendous. So like this side of the mountain is going to be like lit up by the moon, right? So you're gonna have like maybe like some sort of how do I even do this? So it's like this other side is going to be the shadow. So that's why you have, you know, your darker blue color. So your shadow is going to be like, okay, here, and then you pull that down, and then you're like, okay, well this mountain over here is going to have a face on it. Like there's going to be snow on this side and snow on that side or something. So then you're like, okay, well you don't want to pull that all the way across, but you want to kind of just spread that out a little bit there. Top of the mountain. And then you want to do the same over here. Just want to get some mountains. It's like it's just like it's just a little bit of, I don't know if you can see that. You can't. It's so hard to discern. But if you mix a little white into there, it blows up like it's a, like, I don't know. It's not even a game. I don't know. Okay. So at this point, this is one of those like incredibly weird things that you wouldn't think is very difficult. But I'll show you here. Do you see what I did there with that white right here? That's actually the effect that I want to do on the mountain itself. Now, since I'm on a small freaking palette, I need to use my other palette knife. Where the hell's my? There it is. Yeah, look at that. I must have been using this for the previous. Okay, so we're gonna take a little of this phthalo blue, and we're gonna mix it in with this. And this, like I said, this phthalo blue is super freaking strong. Get like a nice. So it's like it's gonna be, you know, this whole painting is kind of like in like a blue shift. So it's like the snow is gonna be a little blue, and actually, you know, I think I'm just gonna use this smaller side, this edge right here, and try and do this, but not try and have a freaking hair on it. So this is always just a shitstorm. And that's another thing. Whenever you're going over a darker paint, you're going to end up scraping some of that up. So if you don't want your painting to get screwed up, you don't want to drag that other black across it. So let's grab some more of that titanium white and blue mixture here. Sorry if this is slightly overexposed. So I was about to throw that back on the painting. Can't do that. Gotta wipe that shit off. Now I can then. Oh, wipe it off. It's gonna save yourself a lot of headache. Wipe off that knife every freaking time. Cannot convey that more. And it's like these aren't perfect, and I think a lot of people with these I almost just committed an atrocity. I think a lot of people go for perfection when they're trying to do paintings, and that's what scares them off. And you can't really do that. You can't just have to go with the goddamn flow sometimes, you know. And like, you don't have to necessarily do that each time, but it definitely helps. Like right there. Like that's not bad. So what I'm gonna do now is that since I got these couple of mountains, like I said, this is just like a test. And the next one I'm gonna do, it's gonna be a little bit more grandiose. I'm gonna take this same. Am I gonna do that? I'm gonna take this brush that I did the background with, and I'm gonna blend these out. I'm just gonna pull this way and take a little bit of that snow. I'm gonna drag it out here. It should be, and it's just blending a little bit. And what this is also doing, and I'm just gonna grab a little bit of this. I'm just gonna pop this just like this, and I'm just gonna go along here and start creating this like mist. So what this is doing with this mist, and you're like, what the hell are you doing? You know, you're fucking up your painting. No. So this mist is like acting like the. So it's like if this canvas was white, and I was to paint a darker mountain against it, you'd be like, okay, well that's contrast. This is what I'm doing here. I am creating contrast by creating this this mist. You know, the mist kind of creeps up the mountain, especially in these night paintings. Now I'm getting this dark into my shit here. Let's just pull that out a little bit. So one thing that helps a little bit if your paint's getting a little bit tough to work with, and you're like, fuck, you're just struggling a little bit, just add a little bit of boiled linseed oil, and that's essentially, you know, your paint is essentially that. Your oil paint is oil and pigment. So you can see, like, once you add a little bit of that boiled linseed oil in there, it essentially creates magic white. Magic white. You don't want to do that too much though, and you know, I'm gonna get myself into trouble here if I do that too much, because part of the problem with all the previous style oil painting is that you get into this you have to do everything at once. That's what all premium means. But you have to oh shit, an oil painting all over my fucking leg. Anyway, so just dab it out here, and you're just creating more of this mist here. I keep losing my train of thought. So you want this mist to come up like really fucking far, kind of like it's coming like out of the, like that cleft in the mountain a little bit too, you know, and like get it up in there. And it's like, can you have enough mist? Maybe. But the thing is, like, you're just creating a backdrop for your foothills, your sort of forest that you're going to be creating. So don't worry about it. Like, this is pretty sweet. It's pretty good looking, I think. Yeah. I'm just going to get a little more in here. So, like, I'm just going to be putting some trees over this now. So we're going to take the same blue rusty color, and we're just going to get up in there with this nasty fucking brush. I'm kidding. We're not going to use this nasty thing. Well, no. It's so... Part of the problem of using any brush that's, like, you know, previously used is, like, it's like you never want to start too big. You always want to start small if you're not really sure. The scale of this canvas is slightly different than what I've worked with in the past. So just go this route real quick here. We're gonna load up this fan brush with a lot of this blue rusty color, and we're just gonna start. I always start up way too freaking high with these trees. I'm just gonna start here. I need more black in there. So I'm just taking a little bit of black, throwing it up in this blue rust. And like, really got to get a lot of paint loaded up in there. Otherwise it just looks like shit. And you hold the brush at like this sort of downward angle and you just kind of like attack the canvas like you're just getting after it, you know? How's that looking? Yeah, so like this takes probably a good 4 minutes or so to get these trees in there. And when I watch Bob Ross do this, he's like, oh yeah, just get these, put all this shit up in here. And he just does it really quick. He's just like, whatever. And he goes across here and he's like, yep, you're just, light against dark, dark against light, the eternal struggle of good versus evil, blah, blah, blah. He's probably higher than a kite, but, that is what it is. So yeah, you can just go across here like this and you're like, whatever. And, I take my time with these a little bit more than I think Bob Ross did. I actually go over with a couple colors. So I'll go over with the Mountain Darkness color is what I like to call it. And then I'll go over it with like some blacks. And then I'll throw in like, a bigger tree, right there maybe. There's a big guy maybe that lives there too. And shit, going off the map here. So yeah, this is going to be coming into play here a little bit when we're going to make that lake down here that I was talking about. And like, I don't want to spend all night doing these fucking trees, but it's like, I feel like if I don't, like, you don't want to make it so that like, okay, your trees look like fucking fence posts against this misty shit back here, because like if you do it that way, it's just gonna look like a 5-year-old did the painting, and that's really, it's just take your time. Nobody's critiquing you here. Unless you have like 200 streamers watching a fucking circle go around the screen, and then they're like, why isn't the goddamn stream working? And it's like, well, maybe because I'm trying to stream from my freaking phone. This goddamn light is screwing me up here. So you're like, why the hell are you dragging those trees down so far? Like, there's a point to this. And some of you that paint out there probably know what the hell I'm doing. So it's no big surprise to you all. But some of you don't. And they'll be like, oh, I see. And he's doing a little fucking painting over there. So I really do want to get some nice tall bastards in here. That's a nice tall fucker right there. Yeah, trees are kind of like people. That tall one, skinny one. Bump trees. Yeah, some people prefer bump trees. Some people don't. Yeah. All right. Well, that looks shitty right there. Okay, so let's fix that a little bit. All right. So this is good. I feel like these tops of these fucking trees are kind of shitty. If you don't add, there is a level of detail that does go into landscapes that people are like, oh, he's just throwing fucking paint on, and it's just like, it really goes into what brushes you're using and the amount of detail or the amount of like fine point that you have on each of these things. So it's like some brush, like this brush is super shitty. I've used it like on like 4 other paintings, and then I let it dry out, and then I washed it with odorless paint thinner. That's the thing people hate. Odorless paint thinner, I'm pretty damn sure that shit still has fumes coming off of it, but I don't open up paint thinner in the house. Like I just don't, you know. Like I would rather go spend $2 on another brush than expose people in the house to paint thinner fumes. It's just not fucking worth it, you know. So I like all this contrast that I'm getting in here. If you have a black tree in here, you kind of want to bring it all the way down. Okay, so let's see, where am I at here? I have to look at one of my other paintings that I did here. Oh, that's what I forgot. Okay, so this area is gonna be, you know, a fucking buffalo and a lake and like some grass and shit. And we got to do that first before we can do the lake. So oh, there they are. All of my I have all these brushes. Ooh, you see that shit come out of there? Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna do some white and blues down here and kind of blend it like the sky. So again, we're gonna get just a smidgen of Prussian blue mixed in here. And we're gonna mix that here. We're gonna drag in a little bit of this. Actually, I'm gonna go back to this brush. It's already kind of loaded up with a little bit of this color. And what the fuck's going on? Oh, my phone's down at 5 here. Okay, so I'm almost done with this because my phone's almost done. So wherever you want your essentially the shine of your lake to start is where you need to put in your sorry, I need a little bit more no, I can't do that because I need to put buffalo on top of that. So essentially there's gonna be a reflection of this moon sitting here. Okay. Is it? Okay. I'm gonna take a dry brush and I'm going to fan this out while I still have a little bit of time, down to 4%. on my battery. So essentially, it's just they're kind of the same way as like I did the sky, but just kind of taking the brush strokes out a little bit. And I got a little bit too much, got a little overzealous there with my paint. But you can see how that reflection of that moon is kind of taking shape. Yep. And so here's the next part. So this is always kind of stressful. I'm going to come in with a little bit of this over here. I'm going to take a little bit of black, okay? A little bit of black and a little bit of this blue, okay? I'm going to bring it in from this side, okay? Bring it in from this side. And like, generally the technique is like a little bit, I'm getting a little bit too much fucking white in there. I need more black, more blue. Okay. So this is taking in those edges. Ah, you bastards. Okay. So if that happens, just go back over it. Got a little bit of white out there. So what I need is I need some blues and I need some blacks, and those all need to kind of cooperate together. So I need this blue layer here, black layer a little bit, and then I need black, just straight black out on the edges. And you're just kind of taking down that blue level a little bit with the black. Not completely getting rid of it, just you don't need too much of it. Okay. So I have 2% battery. So we're gonna end the stream here. I'll probably finish this tomorrow, maybe. So you can see how this is coming along. You know, it's about, I think, an hour into this, maybe. Yeah, 52 minutes. Usually if I wasn't talking through this whole thing,